Show of hands, how many of you have ever had a dream that you were working on or experiencing and it wasn't exactly the way that you envisioned it? It was something a little bit not less desirable. I'm here to give you three things I learned from such experience, and I hope it helps you follow your dreams. Now, dreams. We all have dreams. We have bucket lists, goals, aspirations, what we want to accomplish. Now, I've always had this dream of doing paddleboarding. Why? It looked very interesting. I've seen it in those commercials of California, or seen in books about like Hawaii, or in Polynesian Islands where people are paddleboarding, where you have the surfboard and using paddle, setting up right, or you're kneeling, and you're going through the stream. It looks zen, looks euphoric, and what I love to see is pictures of people with their dogs, their other pets, people with their children. Everyone's having fun. It looks really great. Now, I had that experience, an opportunity to take on the experience of paddleboarding about a year before COVID. I was with a family vacationing up north, and I saw this lady paddleboarding, and I shared with her how much I always wanted to do it. She says, well, you know what, hop on, and I'll let you borrow mine. But here's the catch. I chickened out. Now, the reason why I chickened out is I have not really a fear of water, but I have extreme, I guess, hatred, or I just can't stand icy cold water. Now, the reason why I hate icy cold water, I'm going back now in my mind, I'm thinking it's probably the traumatic experience that I've experienced when I was a child. Now, I've never really shared this with too many people, but I got to take you back to 1970s, late 70s, early 80s, where my parents told me all the time, and my sister, never play on the ice. You're going to fall through, get hurt, you could drown, something horrible. Don't do it. Now, what do? I don't listen to my parents because why? I'm a kid. And my parents had this saying, if you don't hear, you'll feel. Many West Indians would know what that means, whereby if you don't listen to your parents, either you're going to get punished or don't listen, you'll suffer the consequences. And that's how you'll learn from the experience. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. So picture me, young. I am playing on the ice, which I should not be doing it. It's like on a creek. And all of a sudden, there's a loud crack and crash. I fall right through the ice. The good news is the water wasn't too deep. The bad news is I submerged myself, got out, dead of winter, pulled myself out, and I'm completely drenched head to toe in the dead of winter. It's freezing out there, and I feel my boot, my sock, my jeans, all my clothes are all clinging to me and becoming one mass. I know I have to get home because if the longer I stay out there, the worse hypothermia is going to kick in. The bad news is I got I would say about a mile or two to get back home. So I crawl out, start marching back home, and I know that it's not good because my feet are burning me. You ever get that kind of burning sensation where it's so cold your feet or your limbs are burning and you can't feel, you can't move stuff? Well, that's what I was experiencing. It felt as if someone's getting a saw, just like sawing my limbs, my fingers, my limbs. It was horrible. So each step I took was very painful. Finally get home, only to discover that no one's home, bang on the door, no response. I try to reach in to grab my keys in my pockets, but my pockets are frozen shut from all the ice and the wetness. And I can't even use my fingers to pry open the pocket. No matter what I do, it's getting worse. The more time I stay out there, my fingers are burning and it's getting worse and worse. So I have a decision. I could wait till my parents come home, which I have no idea what time that's going to be, or my sister, or I could go to my friend's house, but my friend is about at least like 4 or 5 blocks down. So I have to take myself then and I start walking through the snow, and it's horrible. It's temperature's dropping and I'm going through a lot of pain. And I finally get to my friend's place. Luckily, thank God, he's home and his parents let me in. I sit down in their basement and I'm heating up by their portable heater. it was definitely a godsend. And they gave me hot chocolate, dried off my clothes, and was able to go back home. Never told my parents the story because I know they would just kill me if I ever did that. So I took that to the grave with my parents. So then, now let me just fast forward. This weekend passed, I had an opportunity to do the boarding, and I said, you know what, let me just do it. So I called my friend who had a paddle board, and we met down there by the marina, and we went in, and guess what? The water is ice cold, just like the same water I fell in way back when. And I started getting these memories of like the traumatic experience. So I'm on the board, and it's not really comfortable because we're both sitting down like in a kayak. So we're sitting down and we're trying to paddle, and my hips are hurting, my knees are hurting, my ankles are in the water, hanging over the board, and I get that same burning sensation of the numbness and the sawing of the limbs. I get the exactly same thing way back when. And I'm not enjoying it. Then we go out a bit further, and it's a little bit of waves and a little bit of rapid, and I'm not having any of this. This is not the experience that I long for. It's not like what I saw in those magazines of people having a gay old time and enjoying themselves. So then I advised my friend, pull it back in, let's just stay in the other area, the shallow water, and I think I'll be okay at that. The water to me seemed fine. It seemed warmer, but he said it was the exact same water. It's all mental. So just as I'm about to give up, lo and behold, the universe sends another friend of mine, and he's on his own paddle board. He comes rowing up to me and says, hey, how's it going and everything, to my experience. And both my friends encourage me to go back out. I go back out. It's very painful. I'm hunched over, the water's a little bit choppy, my hips are hurting, knees are hurting, ankles are hurting. I go out, and then I'm thinking, should I just hop off the edge and just walk around the rocks and come back around the rocks? No, I stay on and then go back to where we were, and it was an interesting experience. Overall, some things I would change with the experience is I would probably get my own paddle board and want to paddle myself because it was just I wasn't used to that kind of position. But I would definitely do it again. So I enjoyed it, but at first it was a horrible experience. And there's 3 lessons I learned from that whole experience. Now, the first lesson is that no pain, no gain. A lot of us are working on our dreams, and we experience a little bit of pain, and we don't like that. It's out of our comfort zone, and we start resisting, and we give up on our dream. For me, the pain, once I was able to really focus on not just the pain, but think of the gain that I'd be getting from this experience, it got a little bit easier. Which brings me to my second point. Next point is the limits we place upon our minds. Now, when I was out there and all the traumatic experiences I was reliving, being submerged in the water in the winter, that didn't help. But when I was able to open my mind, I was able to enjoy or experience the goal that I wanted to for so many years. So many of us, we're stronger than we think. We have it in our ability, but we don't believe in ourselves. So I encourage you to start believing in yourself, because I'm saying yes, you can, and no, you can. You've got it in you to succeed and push past your limits. When you push past your limits, not only inspire you, but you also inspire others around you. Now, this brings me to my third and final point, and that is strength in numbers. You see, when you have a team of people behind you, pushing you, motivating you, you can go so much further on you accomplishing and experiencing your dreams. And it makes me reflect on the African proverb, which states, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Now, that's exactly what I experienced. I got to send a shout out of gratitude, thanks, and love to Brother Lance and Brother Mello. You two were amazing. When I wanted to give up, you guys were there. Brother Lance, thank you for your patience. Thank you for being a great captain. I know I wasn't the best passenger or co-sailor with you, but I really enjoyed the experience. And I want to do it again with both you and Mello. Mello, I want to say also thanks because you came at a right time. The universe sent you when I wanted to give up and just throw in the paddle. You were there. You came over the ridge with your paddle board, and you inspired me to keep going. So thank you both. I was able to go further in accomplishing that. And this reminds me of the Sir Ian Fleming quote, and just coming to me now. And he's the writer, the author of the James Bond series, Casino Royale, etc. And it goes like this: never say no to adventure. Always say yes. Otherwise, you lead a dull life. I want you all to live an exciting, adventurous life, accomplish your goals and your dreams. And you know what? As my late mother would always say, yes, you can, and I know you can. So keep moving forward and looking upwards, and stay tuned for my next video. Take care.